I have scaled my agency to 75K a month, doing the exact opposite of what every other SMA guru out there tells you to do. I don't use cold outreach, I don't charge retainers, and I have basically zero churn. I call this model the hybrid growth agency, and in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I did so that you can copy me and we can all win. And also, I'm Alex, I just turned 20 years old, I'm in Dubai, I travel the world, and I do whatever I want to with my life. An agency only consists of three parts: the internal operations, the fulfillment, and the acquisition. But before I get into any of that, I would like to start with a bit of the backstory. How did I end up here and how long did it take me? Well, before I got into the agency game, I tried over 10 other business models: NFTs, dropshipping, Minecraft servers, freelancing, you name it, I have tried it. But then in August of 2023, I decided to lock in on the agency model because it felt like an actual business and it was the hype of that time. Only 4 months later, I hit my first 10K month. At that point in time, it was only me and my co-founder who were working on the agency, and we had 12 clients. Then 7 months later, we hit our first 50K month, which was me, my co-founder, and 3 employees at that time, and we had 18 clients. Then half a year later, 6 months later, we are now at 75K a month. It's me and my co-founder and 10 employees. With this current setup, we can easily get to 125K a month, if not more. So we are slightly bloated right now. We have slightly too many people, but it's good to be overstaffed than understaffed. We have 22 clients and we are managing close to $1 million every single month in ad spend for our clients, 700K of which goes to Facebook and 300K of which goes to Google. So as you can see, by using the correct model, you can reach pretty big numbers pretty quickly, especially considering what kind of numbers most SMMA gurus are telling you to work towards: 10K, 20K, but nobody tells you that you can get to 75K a month within just over a year. So let's get into the 3 fundamental parts of the agency. How did we actually do it? I'll break down every single one, how I do it at my agency, so that you can go out and just copy me, do the exact same thing that I'm doing in my own agency. So for acquisition, when I started, I watched all of these gurus: Iman Ghazi, Charlie Morgan, Jordan Platten. All of them always preach getting clients through cold outreach, but I pretty quickly realized that it's bullshit. You need to reach out to thousands of people when you actually end up booking a call or two. They are the most difficult sales calls because they don't know you. You reached out to them. They become shitty clients because, again, they don't trust you. They don't have any emotional attachment to working with you, and you will be dealing with constant churn. So you're just starting the partnership with potential clients on the completely wrong foot. Then I had an epiphany moment. All of these gurus were selling me on their services through what? Yes, a personal brand. So why don't I start a personal brand for myself, just for attracting clients for my agency? I chose LinkedIn because it's a super underused platform in the agency game. It's a business related platform. So when people are on LinkedIn, they are in a business mindset. I have made an entire video breaking down my LinkedIn system, so feel free to check that out. I'll leave a link in the description. But point is, the reason why you want to have a personal brand and not do cold outreach is because you get warm prospects. So people who already know who you are, they trust you, they like you, they are easier to please because they are more lenient. So even if you fuck up, they are less likely to leave you off the get-go. They will give you more chances to prove yourself. This creates basically zero churn and a 30% plus close rate. And you can probably see how this is an amazing flywheel when you are closing 30% plus of all discovery calls and you have basically zero churn. Growing an agency like this feels like you are on steroids. It's like trying to master this business on easy mode instead of trying to do it on hard mode using cold outreach. I call this the golden flywheel, which creates exponential growth. The routine here on LinkedIn is that I post daily. So every single day at 11 a.m. I post on my LinkedIn profile. Then once a week I run a giveaway. So asking people to comment a specific word to get a document or a case study or something related to my audience, which are CMOs. And I run a webinar every single month. So I actually have one coming up in a couple of days, just an hour of me talking about some interesting topic to CMOs, like the top marketing trends in 2025 or how to run ads on Meta profitably above 20K a month in ad spend, just tailored to our specific ICP. All of this generates a ton of leads, people who are commenting on the posts, liking the post, commenting on these giveaways, people who attend the webinars. And what I do then is that I just reach out to those people, and it's not cold outreach because they already know who you are. They have already interacted with your personal brand. So this is warm outreach, and you will be pretty shocked by the booking rate that you get from this type of outreach, even with a super simple message. No fancy, scripts and like super long sequences, just one single super simple message. Lastly, the closing and the pricing. For closing, I use a 3-step 2-call close framework, where step 1 is a 30-minute discovery call. Then I do an in-depth free audit for the brands that are actually relevant for us and that we want to work with. And lastly, a close call. Again, I have made an entire video breaking down exactly how this process works. I give you all my scripts, all my templates, all my frameworks, so feel free to check that out. And for pricing, here are my recommendations and what I followed in my own agency. When you are below 50K a month in your agency, charge based on performance, where the standard model is to charge 5% of ROAS above ad spend. So you just take the revenue minus the ad spend, times that by 0.05, and that is your cut. So if you generate, let's say, 100K in revenue for your client through your paid ads, you spend 10K to get that. You take 100K minus 10K, which is 90K. You take 5% of that, which is 4.5K. Once you get above 50K a month, you should begin transitioning to retainers, because the predictability of a retainer will be much more important than the positive effects that you get from a performance-based deal. Here you should aim to charge at least 4.5K minimum, but aim at charging 7K a month on average from every single one of your clients. Acquisition done, fulfillment. How do we actually deliver the service? This is the most important part of this video. Yes, I can teach you how to get clients, but if you're not able to deliver a service, they will churn within 2 to 3 months, and this system won't work for you anyways. So fulfillment is the main focus in my agency. This is where me and my co-founders spend, 80% of our time. Every single one of our employees works on the fulfillment. We don't have anyone cold calling. We don't have any sales guys. Every single one of the 10 employees work on the fulfillment and the service delivery, which should tell you how important it actually is. And the first step in the fulfillment is, of course, the onboarding. We aim at a 7-day onboarding. So in our eyes, if we don't generate the client any good results within the first 7 days of the partnership, we have failed at the onboarding, and the chance of them churning becomes much higher. And as I said, just the most important week of the partnership, you can have an amazing onboarding and then have 3 months where you are doing pretty ass and they will still stay with you. But if you have a shitty onboarding and then 3 months of you doing super well, they are much more likely to churn. Again, I have made an entire video breaking down my exact onboarding framework, so feel free to use that. For the media buying, which is the actual delivery of the service on an ongoing basis, do the work yourself until you can afford to pay someone at least 5K a month. That's the way I did it in my own agency. I was in the ad accounts, making changes, making the strategies, adding new keywords in Google Ads, until we were at 50K a month. People begin outsourcing once they get their first client. I was, as I said, in the ad accounts until I was at 50K a month, over $500,000 a year. Again, I have made an entire video on my system for managing ads, super long, super in-depth, teaches you exactly how to run meta ads for your clients successfully. So check that out if it is a bottleneck in your agency. Other ways of becoming great at this skill is reading books. There are tons of books out there on meta ads, on Google Ads. Just go on Amazon, $10. Easy. buying courses. And no, I don't have any courses to sell you. I'm just recommending that is a good way of going about it. Watching YouTube videos and buying coaching from people. So I have spent probably 50K just buying coaching from people, paying people for their time to jump on a call with me for an hour for me to ask all of the questions that I have had. And it has been the highest ROI money that I have ever spent in my life. I have, as I said, invested a ton of money in becoming a great media buyer, and that is what has allowed me to scale to 75K a month so quickly, even though it may sound counterintuitive and that it would take longer by you doing the service. No, it won't, because you are building a solid foundation for your agency. Lastly, the hiring. We only hire the best of the best. That's why you have to do the work yourself, because in the beginning you can't afford to get the best of the best. And if you hire a shitty media buyer, you will have shitty results, clients will churn, and your agency will never grow. So look until you find the best. Don't hire someone quickly because you're just tired of doing this service. This will take time. Get at least 300 applicants, conduct at least 20 interviews before you land on who you want to hire for your agency. Just the main topic here of everything that I have discussed so far is no cutting corners. We do things fundamentally correct from day one. We spend the time on the systems, we spend the time on the service delivery, and we have been rewarded for that pretty nicely. Lastly, the internal operations, the least important of these three aspects, but it will become a bottleneck if you don't focus on this once you begin approaching about 50K a month. So first of all, the most fundamental mindset shift here is a systems first approach. So when you have an issue in your agency, first look at the systems, then look at the people. So if, for example, your team is not delivering enough creative output for your meta campaigns, first look at the systems that they are using. If the systems are 100% optimal, they are not the bottleneck, then you can look at the people. But in 95% of cases, the issue will be in the systems, not in the people, if you have hired the correct people, going back to this point. Then just building solid systems from day one, solid systems for creative developments, solid systems for client reporting, internal problem reporting, task management. Every single internal system in your agency should be proper from day one, even though it may be overkill when you are at 10K a month, 20K a month, 30K a month. But once you begin approaching 60, 70, trust me, you will thank me for building those systems properly. Here is a quick sneak peek of what that looks like in my agency. We have the most advanced and most streamlined creative development process in Asana ever. We have dashboards in Funnel for every single one of our clients to give them a live dashboard and for us to have an overview over client results. We have problem reports, we have due date reports. Every single thing is streamlined in my agency. And why do we do this? Well, because it allows me to make the most out of every single one of our employees. You never want the systems to be the bottleneck in your agency. You want the people, which may sound, again, counterintuitive, but you can always hire better people. But if your systems are limited, you can hire the best people in the world and they will never be able to show you their full potential, because there is no point in hiring A players if your systems limit them to being C players. If you are struggling to scale past 8K a month, I hope that you now realize that it's not your fault, but it's rather the fault of the broken and outdated SMMA model that you are using. I built a hybrid growth agency and scaled to 75K a month with 80+% margins, without cold outreach, without constant churn, and without charging retainers. I'm opening up 3 slots to work with me personally, one-on-one, where I will guide you for 6 months to implement the performance growth protocol in your own agency to scale to 25K a month with 80+% margin. So if that sounds interesting, reach out to me on Instagram, DM me, let's talk about it.